Shabbat came to God to complain. Every day of the week has a partner. Sunday goes with Monday, Tuesday goes with Wednesday, Thursday goes with Friday. Only I don't have a partner. God replied, the people of Israel will be your partner. Hine ma tov umanayim, we just sang. Behold how good it is when people gather together and join in the name of God. Maya Fehayom, Shabbat Shalom. What a beautiful day, Shabbat.
Maya Fehayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fehayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fehayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Fehayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
God began the world by saying, let there be light. We begin Shabbat with candlelight saying, Baruch atah Adonai. God finished creating the world by making Shabbat a holy day. We make Shabbat a holy day for ourselves. May the warm glow of these candles remind us of God's light. May this Shabbat be a special holy time for us. To light the Shabbat candles, we call on Kathy Eisenberg. We light 2 Shabbat candles to remind us of the difference in the 10 Commandments, where one says Shamor, guard the Shabbat to keep it holy, and the other says Zachor, remember the Shabbat to keep it holy. And so we light both, because if you remember it, you will guard it, and if you guard it, you will have remembered it.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Zachor, Shamor.
Everybody will join me, please. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. It is also our tradition to bless God for the gifts God has given us, including the fruits of the vine and all foods we eat. And therefore, we offer this blessing during our service so that those who used to observe this at home, when the generations changed and people drove straight from work to the synagogue, they could still observe the mitzvah of blessing the wine. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishem b'mitzvotav, tiratzamanu, b'shabbat kadsho, be'ahavav u'ratzon yinfilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereishit, yihu yom tehila, l'mikvah kodesh, zecher mitziat Mitzrayim. Imanu Adonai, Imanu Yirasha, Yohamim, Shabbat Koshercha, Yehav U'Ratzon, In Chazanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. The heaven and earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day God finished the work that God had been doing, and God stopped on the seventh day from all the work that God had done.
Adonai
everybody else with you? Yeah? We send our younger ones to open the doors of the synagogue for the Shabbat bride to come in and wed herself to the Jewish people for Shabbat. Tomorrow night at the end of Shabbat, we will wish the Shabbat bride goodbye until another week. The word kala is bride. You can see it in the last line. Shalom, Ateret Ma'ala, Prayer is the way we speak to God. Sometimes we pray alone. Sometimes we pray with others.
Sometimes we pray out loud. Sometimes we pray silently.
Sometimes we pray with our words. Sometimes we pray with our deeds.
Sometimes we say our prayers. Sometimes we say none.
However we choose to pray, God, we pray you will always hear us.
When I go to sleep, it's the first and last thing I say. But it's also the expression of my love and honor for God.
Vern?
For me, the Shema is both a joyous prayer and something that brings me into a community, whether or not I'm in a community. I can be all by myself, and when I recite the Shema, I am with the community of Jews in the world.
When I recite the Shema, it's not love that I feel as much as I feel like I'm saluting God. I feel that I am acknowledging the greatness of God. And it makes me feel very, very good when I stand up and recite the Shema.
When I say the Shema, we're taught that it is expressing our belief in one God. And so when I say the Shema, it just brings me that much closer to God. As it's a special reminder that He is one, and that I believe in Him, and that He believes in me.
And to those guests from other faith communities, these words, the first two, Shema Yisrael. Shema means to hear, but with an exclamation point. It really means kind of listen. Listen up. Shema Yisrael means hear, O Israel, or get yourself ready. There's something to be said that's coming. Adonai is one of the names of God. Eloheinu, Adonai, our God. Adonai Echad. Adonai, our God, is one. And therein is our ultimate truth. For a Jew, if they prayed nothing and said nothing else their entire lives, but these 6 words, it's enough. So, thank you guys. You did it again.
Wow.
You sort of pushed the adults to start thinking again. This is good. You're in trouble, but this is good. Okay, you know what, while you're all here, why don't you guys just open the part doors again? Because we have to sing the Shema now.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael,
These are the next part of this book. In the Torah, the tradition is after what we just sang, the Shema, we do not then recite or say anything other than the beginning of this prayer, because in Deuteronomy, these 2 sentences follow each other immediately. So normally, you would not interrupt by saying anything. But we did. Ve'ahavta we love God? How do we love God with all our hearts? How do we love God with all our minds? That was a trick line. We are all children of somebody. How do we love God with all our strength? We love God and we share what we have. Helping others is the way we love God with all our strength. Help us, God, to be people who give tzedakah. Eternal God, we want to show you the love of you with all our deeds. May our love make the world a better place, the kind of world we meant it to be when you created us.
Eloheinu
You are with us. We'd like to invite to lead us our Ohel Moed students to come back up. And if just by fluke Amy Nader happens to be here, she could also come up. You're Amy Nader. Rosie Shan, yes. It is not a psychic phenomenon. We know Amy is here because her two sons are here, and they didn't walk. You guys, to that side. Okay, you guys, just give us 1 second. Obviously, they need another semester. This week on our Isha Dayroth list, Barbara Abramowitz, Ruth Benson, Beverly Elster, Millie Esterson, Mimi Gluck, Helen Heller, Len Heller, Harry Jackson, Sandu Kreuter, Debbie Morabito, Joe Morabito, Joel Rosenberg, Ethel Rolnick. If there are other names to be mentioned, please stand in your seats and feel free to share. As those names go all Kanfei Han Sharim, on the wings of eagles.
Ruth Ann Musgarden, Jay Merson.
Richard Remington,
Jenny Shabona, Karen Lisa, and Melissa Matthews, Baby Zachary, and Suzanne Brandel.
Pat Cohn, and Melanie.
Evan Burley, Adrian Long, Mark Stein, Victoria Leonard, Harry Connolly, Linda Miller, Jenny Smith, George Walsh.
Alexa,
Rudy Bud Dornalev. This week, I promise to be both brief and short. Think about that. I don't want to dwell on something, but to make a statement and be done. A week and a half ago, my life passed in front of me. That fast. It came out of nowhere. It hit the front of my car no more than 2 feet in front of my face. What I believed was the last thing I ever would see was a black blotch in my face. I heard a knock, and I heard bells. I believed at that moment, as my head and body laid in the passenger side of my vehicle, that I was going to die. I didn't. The responses of the people in the streets were fascinating. When I heard through the bells, "Is he okay? Did someone call 911? Wow, that's a lot of blood. Is he dead?" That was the time between the Black Blotch and Bells. They told me all afternoon and all night and all the next day how incredibly lucky I was that they'd never seen an accident like this and have somebody walk away. Ooh, could have bought lottery tickets. The point that I learned laying sideways, realizing somehow something wasn't right, was that in a second that you don't even understand, this can all be over. That fast. And so I ask you and beg you to choose wisely what we do with our lives, what we do with a finger snap of a moment that has changed my life and can change the lives of everyone that you know. What would you do lying on your side, believing there was nothing? She's coming up with them. I'd like to call now, as we move to conclude our service, Michael and Brianna Zell. Names are on the list. And Sarah, thank you for bringing your students. They were wonderful. You can notify them the quiz at your request has been expanded to 150 questions. No problem.